bike to their homes. So we started using EVs as delivery bikes for our own ecosystem. We started using electric vehicle as our own riding service. So we started this for 1 year. People start to know why this bike has no sound, why this bike has no smoke. So people started getting awareness. So we take this challenge that we will go to every corner in Pakistan, make people aware that, this is another way of, driving a bike or driving a car or driving a bicycle. So this is how Jolta Electric started. And we reach to every transport authority, every influential person that, they start riding our bike, make it popular. And we reach to the government authorities that, yes, there is a need of EV policy. And thanks to the Prime Minister of Pakistan, he was very interested that, as his tsunami project, 100 billion trees, and his vision for Pakistan, and, have a green image. So he helped us. We draft the EV policy with certain stakeholders in Pakistan, and that EV policy got approved. And in 2020, we got the first license in December 2020. And we started our manufacturing unit in 2021 March. And 8th of July 2021, Prime Minister Imran Khan inaugurated our electric bike product. And last week, our factory got inaugurated by Governor of Punjab. So we got the recognition, we got the mileage, and we have the high rise of demand in Pakistan. That's why I'm here to tell you guys that Pakistan is the future in EV, and we are not able to just fulfill the demand of Pakistan. We are here to fulfill the demand for exports as well, because we want to, cater the African region. We want to cater South Asian regions, because our unique electric bike is not, being produced in China, because it's the Pakistani style bike. And I will tell you that how we came up with this design. So what makes EV necessary? As per available, there are more than 35 million registered motor vehicles in Pakistan. 30% of total vehicle in Pakistan will be EV. So our target to achieve 30% of that, I already told. So there are 30 million electric bikes, and every month, more than 3 million bikes sold every month, every year. It means that there is a huge potential in the bike market. 3 million is not a small number, and there are major players in the combustion engine bikes. Number one is Honda, number 2, number 3, number 4, all are Chinese assemblers, but the Pakistani based, United, Road Prince, Superstar, and there are Elite and several other names. So they are producing like 15,000, 20,000 bikes a month. So this is our target that, if we able to produce 15,000 bikes, we will be right at the second stage and at the top stage of EVs in Pakistan. That not just selling in Pakistan, but also having export orders and meeting the demand of the African region. Now there is a question, and a lot of people ask that how much the total oil import, what is the energy capacity in Pakistan? If there are so many electric bikes and it works on electricity, won't it consume a lot of electricity while Pakistan is not producing that much of electricity? So I will also answer these questions. So on average, each motorbike consumes 2 liters of petrol every day. Approximately 2.26 billion worth of petrol is being used in motorbikes on daily basis. So that makes it 816 billion worth of petrol is being used in motorbikes annually. So now you can imagine the quantum of import of oil that has a huge impact on the oil and Pakistan's economy. So if we are able to save that at least to 30%, and also it doesn't have an effect of just importing the oil. It has an impact on the environment. It has an impact on the health issues. So indirectly, maybe it's thrice the price that we are paying. We are not only importing, then we are suffering from lung diseases, then we are going to the hospital, then we are, paying in for our health, and so on and so forth, and also damaging the environment. So the total annual budget is worth 7.42 trillion. 12% of Pakistan's total annual budget is being spent on petrol for motor vehicles. So it's 12%. And what is carbon emission? As per WHO, every seventh person is suffering from lung disease because of atmospheric pollution. So if you see here, 25% is the contribution from transport to pollute the air. This is the second highest. Number one is 51% is from industry that is polluting the environment. And number two is transportation. So the carbon emission that is polluting the air, 25% is being contributed by transportation. So if we able to change the transportation from ICE to EV, we'll be really, really saving the lives of people in Pakistan and in the world. And now there's the question that how much electricity capacity in Pakistan. So the installed power generation capacity is 37,402 megawatt, according to the Pakistan Economic Survey. And the total demand of residential and industrial estate is nearly 25,000. So we are already having a large set of power generation. So the problem is not power generation that Pakistan is producing. Problem is the circular debt. Because we are not paying off the state oil and all that. So because of the circular debt, we are facing the electricity shortage issues. Otherwise, the installed capacity is far more than what is being consumed. Future is EV because of saving planet. Transportation is the most significant source of climate pollution. Regardless of where your electricity comes from, electric vehicles have a lower carbon impact. Electric vehicles can charge up at home, at work, while you are at the store. And it has less CO2 emission from electric public buses that always roam the city. How is Pakistan going to adopt the EVs? So, following the ratification of Pakistan's first 5-year electric vehicle policy in December. So, right now, what I want to tell you guys is just the start. It's not the end. A lot of people, lose interest once they see, oh, Cholta Electric has taken the leap. Now there is no gap for us. Trust me, there are 30 million bikes in Pakistan, 1 billion vehicles in the world. Imagine the quantum. And the population is increasing. 7 billion, it will go up to like 8 billion in the next 30, 40 years. So every day is an opportunity for all of us to jump into EVs and pick any area of it. Either we'll start off having our own motor technology. We design a motor for bicycle. We design a motor for car. We design a motor for rickshaw. We design a motor for... So it's an opportunity for all the people out there who are listening me online or here, that there's an opportunity. There's a huge gap for vehicles. It's just the start. 2030 is the benchmark for reaching up to 30 or 50%, and 2040 is the benchmark to reach up to 100%. So, like smartphone era, when Nokia at the rise, and you saw that Nokia gone bankrupt or gone zero, and Samsung and Apple taken the leap back in 2007, and in 10 years. All the dumb phones switched to smartphones. So it's a matter of just 15 years that all the dumb vehicles will turn into smart vehicles. So we can plan that how to make our vehicles smart. What I envision is that flying car is the future, but smart car, smart vehicle is the future. In terms of that, you won't be driving the car. It will take you to your destination because it is connected to your smartphone. And I heard that Apple is working on some kind of car that is connected with it, and you will, it knows all your locations. It knows that it will know that where to go at that time, and you just walk in your car and be relaxed and enjoy like a home, and the car will go itself. So and we have heard that driverless cars is now a reality. So smart cars, smart EVs, smart vehicles, smart cities is the future. So our electric vehicle or electric bike that we came up with is capable of having 3 different kind of batteries. and three different kind of prices for this. Why? Because one, even a person who cannot afford the upfront cost will have a cheap bike for him, but the battery life is little because it's based on dry EV battery. And then there is you can charge it at home while overnight charging. And then there is lithium based batteries that charge in 2 hours to 3 hours, and with charging stations it can charge 1.5 hours. And then you have supercapacitor batteries. So once we designed the bike, we were quite worried that when we were doing the surveys, we were meeting different people in the industry that are already in the industry. So they were not giving us any lift that EV Pakistan में नहीं चलने वाली. हम मुख्तलिफ we went to different manufacturers in Pakistan that we don't want to develop and manufacture our bike because there are 70 assemblers already. We developed a technology, we want to give it to you. You produce the bike, but trust me, nobody listened to us. And that's what we took the challenge, that okay, if nobody is listening, we will prove it and people will start coming to us, inshallah. And that has happened. They see our success, and now almost 5 different companies has taken the lessons for electric bikes. So it's a big achievement for us. Now the supercapacitor technology, because we having a lot of complaints, or we having a lot of feedback from customers that we need fast charging. We need that just like you change the petrol in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Don't we have that kind of battery? So me and Azim traveled to different countries, Korea, China, Taiwan, and we studied that what kind of different technologies, in battery. There are fuel cells, there is hydrogen cells. Then we found out that there is one battery, that has a different graphene-based supercapacitor batteries. So the graphene-based supercapacitor batteries has the capacity and capability to charge within minutes. From that time, we were, we felt proud, and we launched the bike with dry EV because we knew that we have something in our hand that can charge within minutes. So inshallah, with time, we come up with this as the infrastructure of charging infrastructure develops in Pakistan and super fast chargers being deployed in Pakistan, we will launch our supercapacitor bike that can charge within 2 minutes. So this is the capacity and capability we have developed, alhamdulillah. Now we'll come to the cost saving. If an average consumer consume 1 liter of oil every day, so the rising prices of oil is almost reaching to $1 per liter. Almost reaching to $1 per liter. And for one charge, it is just 1.5 unit. That costs around 0.2 cents dollar. So it's almost incomparable. So you will save around $300 a month, 5,000 to 6,000 rupees. Is that $300 or something? $40. Oh. Okay. So it's around saving of $40 a month, and 50,000 annual saving. So our the price of the bike is 93,500. So it's around $550. The price is $550, and you save 50,000 a month. So the ROI is like 18 months. Even if you change the battery, the bike is free after 18 months for you. So EVs can reduce fuel cost because of high efficiency of electric drive components. Now there is opportunity for all out there to having an exports in the EV sector, and we have already started. We have a few orders from Kenya and Nigeria and also one order from USA, and we are in talks with them. What Mr. Azim is working, and that what we are trying our best, that we focus on that kind of design, that all the raw material we able to produce in Pakistan. If we have the raw material in Pakistan and we develop the complete indigenous 100% localized bike in Pakistan, then this will not only create thousands and millions of jobs in Pakistan, but also able to have our own monopoly, that nobody can do this. And that's what we have done so far, that we have developed our own motor and developed our own uh, the bike, that the existing model. A lot of people asked us that why the existing model that you selected, why not a new design, an aerodynamic design that is favorable for EV. The answer is that there are around 2,000 vendors who are already producing for the bikes that are already in the market. So the supply chain, the frame, the tires, everything is already available in the market. So it's always so there is a LUMS professor, they came to us and they write up an article as a case study of Jolta Electric that is being taught for the LUMS students. And they called it as a frugal innovation. So frugal innovation is an innovation that works for masses. So our aim is to develop such an innovation that works for masses, not for a particular elite class. We can come up with a great design, aerodynamic and everything, but the price will be so high that it is not affordable for anything, for everyone. So our motto is Baizzat Meari or Kable Etamad Sawari. So it's a reliable, affordable, and respectable transport, for not for the males but for the females as well. So this is right now we have uh, 50 bikes per day. Right now we have more than 100 people. The population of Pakistan is 220 million, and the big part is that Pakistan is turning into something that Chinese has done. They are coming up with their own innovations, like back in 20 years ago, the Chingchi design became popular in Pakistan, and this is right now they are reducing it. The other transport, like this Bolan, Suzuki Bolan transport, now turning into loader rickshaws. So this manufacturing capacity and capability is transferring into Pakistanis, and now they are coming up with their own designs that is workable for the masses in Pakistan. So this is a great opportunity for us and for you guys to think that how we can contribute in the economy of Pakistan. So these are our variants. So this is the investment opportunity that we can discuss about four-wheel vehicles, three-wheeler loader for industry, how to increase the capacity expansion, two-wheeler ride variants for wider consumer, develop charging infrastructure. There are a few people, battery capacity enhancement for quick charge, or develop trained resources for EV industry. So this is the inauguration by Prime Minister, and that's we launched in Sindh. And this is our factory inauguration just 2 weeks ago by Governor Sawa. That's it. Thank you so much for your time. Now I would like to take question and answer session, and I would require that maybe Mr. Azim will also answer your questions if you have any.
Thank you, Usman, for giving the very, very detailed brief and making me realizing that I'm driving a dumb car. Thank you very much. So just a question, for in fact the clarification, because I'm from Sahiwal, and I know one company there, MS Group, Chaudhry Mohammad Hussain Zahid, I believe his name is. Yeah, so I have in fact visited by chance. We had some other business discussion with him. So he had showed me the same electrical vehicle. So is it the same concept or that was the different one?
Actually, what happened in Pakistan, I think you people know that more than 100 companies, they were doing normal conventional bike. And before we went to everyone and we started to make plan, we will give technology and you people can make the electric bike. That time nobody was believing and nobody was agreed to start this one. And finally, and that was the time when we went also, Sahiwal also, even we talked with Mr. Zahid even in detail. And that time everybody was feeling it's just a joke. And unfortunately, sometimes some people feel like that. But then finally we started and manufacturing and everything. Then what happened? Then everybody trying to copy and have him make the same plan. But whatever they are doing, that we are again contributing with them with the technology. I mean, the battery we are supplying to them. Motor, we are the only group we build in Pakistan. We are trying to supply to them, and the control. I mean, all major electric parts we are supplying for the many other suppliers because they have a big contribution like United, Road Prince, and all these things. So we decided not to left them because they will try and maybe finally they will fail that. So it's our, big plan to participate with them. So finally we give them the motors and other things to start the things like that.
All right, thank you. So just maybe I missed that one. How much is the selling price in Pakistan for this bike?
93,500.
93.
So Chaudhry Zahid Saab is a very good friend of us. And first of all, we never wanted to, produce our own bikes. So we met Chaudhry Zahid. He was the only one who got convinced at that time. Let's start it with together. So we said that we will give you the kit. And because you have an assembly unit, you will assemble it. So, but it didn't happen at that time because of some resources issues. After that, we raised investment and then we produced our own bike. And now we again, taking shocks from them. We are buying shocks from Zahid Saab, and also, we are giving them these motors and controllers so they also assemble the bike and sell in the market because the opportunity is so big. So when the size of the pie is so big, then you should share, inspire, and facilitate. And that's our group main vision, that we are not the owners of everything. We want it to, give it to people so that maximum mileage can be given to all Pakistanis. It reaches to every corner in Pakistan, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Usman. So I have a question, from the end user value equation perspective. So what is the value equation that you're offering to an end user in Pakistan? For a lot of them, bike is the first investment they make. It's very common that people, as they start working, the first aspiration they have is to actually own a vehicle, and a bike is usually the first vehicle. So what is the value equation from end user's perspective that you have designed?
That's very interesting question. And, if I have a few customer reviews I could play here, they are remarkable and very inspiring customer reviews from all over Pakistan that we have received. First of all, any consumer when shift to EVs, they always feel a little hesitant, because the way you drive ICE bike is different from EV bike. So, but once they start learning, once they start getting awareness that this is the way to drive, they cannot drive ICE bike then because it has no kick, it has no maintenance, it has no chain, it has no silencer. So it will not warm up, you burn your legs or something. So once you start, it's just you turn on the engine, you turn on the switch, and you just give the throttle, and it starts moving. So it's so easy that even a child of 12 years can learn it within 2 minutes. And what is the value proposition? Value proposition is that you are going to save 5,000 rupees a month, and that actually so difficult for Pakistanis right now to spend 1 liter of petrol every day, because it's approaching to $1 a day. So that is the biggest value proposition. And once they know that this is reliable, it can take a lot of weight. Like even we have tested on 160 kgs weight on it, and it can drive up to like 55 kilometer an hour. And even if the teachers are buying it, the students are buying it, and even we have some customer reviews from milkman, who distribute the milk. So he has a lot of load on his bike and having 3-4 child sitting on the bike. So this is because we are testing in every corner, and we have our Rahim Yar Khan dealer with us, and he knows exactly the consumer reviews. So they are very interesting. And even I can share one of my review. My own housekeeper, the gatekeeper, he used to ride the ice bike. So once I said, no more ice bike, this is the bike that you will drive. Initially, he felt there a lot of problem coming in. Then now he doesn't want to drive the ice bike. He just want that bike because it's so easy for him, go, come back, and, take things from him. And even he rides for like 70 kilometers to his hometown. And with this inspiration, he convinced his village, one person, and he got the dealership of Jolta Electric. So the awareness is coming in, the value proposition is there, and it's not just that we want to go for value proposition. For us, this is a mission to save lives. Even if you save one human life, it means that Jolta Electric has done its part. So that's what we are here for. We are not just here for making money, because that's the byproduct. If you give value to the humans and to the lives of people, the money comes in automatically. That's not our goal. Our goal is to turn Pakistan into EV hub, and that makes Pakistan prosper, inshallah.
Thank you, Usman. I have a question. Thank you for the insightful presentation and a sneak peek into Pakistan's future of transportation, I believe. I have a very naive question that in terms of charging this bike, how much time does it take to get fully charged? Or in terms of cost, how much cost it takes for people who are using it now until you get the charging stations available? And how many kilometers it can ride with that full charge?
Thank you very much, and that's a very important question. It was time when they were not believing that you can charge in even 10 minutes, okay? And as we discussed that, everybody in the world, not only in Pakistan, they were not believing actually it can happen. But nowadays, because of the mobile technologies, I think everybody knows that in mobile, the charging subject is going very fast, and it is a big issue before EV. Before EV, mobile charging is very, very essential. I mean, it's very important because everybody is moving and he's looking fast charging. So same concept is coming in EV. I mean that even in 10 minutes, we can get full charge. But right now, because of price matters in the world, the battery prices and materials are going very up. So we are using right now, I mean that EV lead acid, and EV lead acid is taking too much time, around 4 to 6 hours charging. And but we already finished with the lithium batteries and even supercap batteries, and with 2 hours, even in 1 hour, and even around 10 minutes. So this is not an issue now. I mean that the issue has been already solved. And the next subject is the mileage. Everybody has a question how much we can drive and kilometers like that. So we are making plan even with 500 kilometer mileage. I mean, within one charge, you can drive 500 kilometer. And that's going on maybe after 2-3 months, it will be in the market. And what we have done in the market now, around 70 kilometer and even 80 kilometer, around 100 kilometer, we already have finished. So in the world right now, this is not a big problem, even if you will pay the batteries cost And if you will pay for the fast charging and infrastructure, like as you asked that, because in the home you don't have big power and connection, so it will take time. But as well as the people and the companies, they are coming with the charging stations, because on the charging stations and other sites, you will have a big power. But we are ready to give the power. I mean that we can give the option within 10 minutes, but 10-minute charging cannot be possible in home. But in home, normally you will use the normal charger and normal 220 plug and power. So it will take some time. But later on, whenever we will have infrastructure of charging, like petrol stations, we have many. And later on, I hope, like other countries, they are making more and more stations. And I hope in Pakistan, very soon, people, they will have opportunity to build the stations. Every corner will have a power to distribute. This is the, that plan coming. And Jolta Electric is ready to give all these options in the market.
So I would add exact the cost for one charge. It takes 1.5 units. That makes exactly 35 rupees. And you will travel 70 to 80 kilometers. And as compared to 1 liter, that is around $1, a little less than $1, like 150 rupees right now. So the saving is 5,000 rupees a month. The mileage right now is 70. And for the lithium bike, we're coming up with 100 kilometer mileage with one charge. The charge unit remains the same, but the charging time goes from 6 hours to 2.5 hours for lithium. But for supercapacitors, it will reduce to 40 minutes, and even for super fast charging, it reduced to 2 minutes. So the charging is not an issue if they have supercapacitor chargers and fast chargers available. And that's what a lot of companies are doing, and we are collaborating with them. Even we are working with NUST and LUMS to develop this super fast charger. And there's one company in Pakistan named Tesla. It's not the same Tesla, it's a Pakistani Tesla. So they are deploying charging stations in Pakistan. And LUMS has carried out one study that if Pakistan deploys 170 charging stations across Pakistan, then you can travel all across Pakistan. So they have managed to point out the locations. So a lot of things are happening, and I told you that this is just the start. So this is the time for Pakistan and for the industry to at least start something out of EV, solar, charging, or the whole EV ecosystem. And this is the time that we should not miss out.
I'd like to congratulate you, Usman and Azim, taking the step towards EV revolution in Pakistan. What incentives is the government providing to the industry and to the end users to promote EV?
Government has taken a large leap in this. They have come up with an EV policy that we drafted for them. It's just 1% custom duty. So if you are importing EV kits and you have a EDB license and your products are PSQCA certified, then you can import all the EV things on 1% custom duty. So it's just nothing. The 1% is just like 0%. And there is no sales tax. There is no any other tax than this. And for the consumers, the government has recently announced that there is no registration fee and advance tax for registering the bike. And also they are waiving off the parking fees for the electric bikes. So there are huge incentives, but there is no subsidy as for now, as like India. But meanwhile, as Pakistani economy will grow, I expect and I hope that there will be some subsidy for the rickshaw owners and for the bike consumers. But we have done some deals with the banks that they can give it on installments, on 18-month installments. So that is also coming. So we see a quantum in this EV in this 1 year.
Just to add to your comment, if the government is facilitating import subsidies, will that help to develop your indigenous industry to actually produce those products within Pakistan, or will it discourage?
The policy is very comprehensive. It doesn't say that you import the complete CPU unit. You cannot import the CPU unit. You can only import the EV parts, like you can import motor, controller, battery, and then you will assemble all things in Pakistan. You cannot import the complete unit from China or from any part of the world. And also then there is a plan. For 3 years, you can import the battery and motor in CKD unit. But after 3 years, you have to develop those motor and controller in Pakistan. So after 3 years, you cannot import the complete even kit. You have to import the parts of the kit. And after 5 years, you cannot. So they have the 5 years to 10 years plan, that how people will start first some CPU unit, they will learn, and then they will buy the EV kits, then they will learn, and then stepwise the industry will able to have those manufacturing units in Pakistan. So it's very comprehensive policy, and I think it's the right policy, because no one can do things like us, because we are like Chinese. We from first day we imported the raw material. We didn't import the EV kit, and we manufacture in Pakistan. So it's not easy for everyone, to do this the same. Thank you.
Thank you.
How many two-wheelers do you see on the roads in, say, like 3 years from today?
EV?
Yeah, EV two-wheelers.
So our plan is to, produce 60,000 bikes this year, 120,000 bikes next year, and 240,000 bikes the next year. So if you take our target is like 500,000 bikes, and the other people who are following us, maybe they come up with the same numbers or more than that. So it's nearly up to 1 million bikes I can see in the next 3 years.
Do you guys have any other question? We have a couple of questions from online meetings. Mr. Manzar Alam, he asked, are lithium-ion batteries, BMS controller are manufactured in Pakistan? How and where lithium-ion battery cells are being made?
Okay, so for BMS and for the controller, we are designing it in Pakistan, but because of the infrastructure, lacking of infrastructure, there is no SMD machines and PCB manufacturing machines in Pakistan that we are going to import right now to start producing it in Pakistan, the BMS and controller. But right now we are designing it, and we are getting it manufactured from Korea or China.
Okay, yeah, I think that was the next question. They said, do we have a patent around BMS and controllers?
Yeah, we have 7 patents that we have filed. Alhamdulillah, we are in the 3rd stage, and our demonstration has been done. And hopefully we'll get the patent in the next 2 months that is fully owned by us. And it is related to BMS, it relates to our motor technology, and it relates to the controller.
I would like to ask, you mentioned in your presentation that Pakistan has a 34% carbon footprint currently. So if, let's say, in the next 3 years, you intend to, say, bring in 500,000 EVs onto the roads, how much have you guys had any measuring, what is the impact? How much would that reduce the carbon footprint in Pakistan, and then in the long run, save lives?
In the next 3 years, it will be very minimal, like it's not more than 3%. If we calculate it for 1 million bikes. But in the longer run, in the next 10 years, it will be like 10%. And in the 20 years, it will be reduced to just 5%. So we'll able to cover 20% carbon emission footprint in the next 20 years. But having said that, this is just because of transport. If we start, doing the solar in industry, and so 51% contribution from the industry. So because, once something starts in, the other industries start to, accumulate that sense. So I feel that the overall carbon emission will be more than 40% in the next 20 years if the industry starts using the solar based electrical produced for their manufacturing plants. Right now, they are using oil or gas for this.
Do you have any other question? Thank you, gentlemen, for your participation. Mr. Usman, do you want to say some last words? And for anybody who want to just invest in EV in Pakistan?
So if anyone who are interested to discuss it further about charging infrastructure or any opportunity regarding investment in Pakistan, we can have a one-to-one discussion with them. So I'm highly obliged that you guys came to this event and gave us this honor to present Pakistani technology, Jolta Electric, to not just to Pakistan, but taking it to the next step from Dubai to the world. Thank you so much for your time.
Sorry, Mr. Usman. We got another question online from Zoom, from Mr. Manzar Alam. He said, what do you think about swappable batteries in Pakistan?
I think for the next 10 years, this is the way for Pakistan and even for the world, because having the super fast charging infrastructure, and it will all take time. The swappable is right now the immediate solution for fast charging, or for changing the batteries. Once you go to the swappable station, it will change the batteries for within 2-3 minutes, and you are good to go. And there is one concept that we are working on. I didn't highlight it because it's something we are keeping it with ourselves, but because of this question, we are focusing on why not to have a system that pay as you go model. You will not own the batteries, because the price of the batteries that makes the EV cost. So once you reduce the price of the batteries, the bikes become so easy for all of us to buy. So pay as you go model means that you pay for the charge that you do for the swappable batteries. So I think swappable batteries is the way, and he rightly said that yes, we are working on that technology.
Perfect. Thanks for your time. Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for your time. And thank you, Mr. Osman, Mr. Azim. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time, guys.
Last words from your side.
Thank you. All done?